Abraham. We don't know who Noble Drew Ali come from, period, point blank. Just because he's melanated don't mean he come from Abraham. So we got to stop with all these fallacies of history.
Peace and blessings. This is Misael Bay, aka Warlock Asylum, coming at you once again with another episode of Raw Talk. And today we're going to answer the question: is Prophet Noble Drew Ali a direct descendant of Abraham? It's something very easy to answer. There's no need to get things like Ancestry.com involved. It's a very easy answer, and I think everyone who's watching this will enjoy this program and find it very enlightening. But for a second, let me share my screen. I want to show y'all something right quick. Like I said before, I just want to share my screen. Let me put this together. I think you'll enjoy it. Once you see it, it's a very easy answer. Okay. So let me see what's going on here. Okay, so now I'm sharing. I just wanted to point this out. So evidently this is a generations chart of our ancestry, everyone's ancestry. So we start with the cipher, which is ourselves. Everyone has 2 parents. Everyone has 4 grandparents. Everyone has 8 great-grandparents. So mathematically, this is how we're going to answer the question on whether or not, if Noble Drew Ali, and for that matter, the entire Moorish nation, are they descendants from Abraham. So as we go up the chart, we're going back so many generations, 15. At the 15th generation, everyone has 131,072 direct ancestors, 15th great-great-grandparents, in other words. So what that means is that by the time we get to 1 CE, not even going into how far Abraham was born before the Common Era, but by the time we get to 1 CE, this number would have amounted to over 2 trillion people, which means that which means that the planet has never had 2 trillion people on the earth. What it means is that everyone who's living at this point in time is related to everybody who existed before 1 CE. So when you think about that, any sort of divine force that came up with the idea that of a chosen people, it's not something with foresight, for that matter, because everyone is a descendant of Abraham at this point. This goes for also Egypt in some sort of way, although genetics people may be more akin to a certain group of people, but anyone existing before 1 CE and any person living in this time and looking back at 1 CE and the generations before 1 CE, all those people are related, whether they're from Rome or whatever. And that's the thing about race. That's what Moors are obligated to teach people, is that race is the religion of the New World Order. It's the mark of the beast. And that's what Moors are here to teach people, that perception of humanity, which came out of colonialism directly, is not something that stems from the divine, nor is it the way things are meant to be. So, we're not even talking about Ancestry.com and all that kind of stuff. We're just talking about straight mathematics. Everyone has two parents, and for that reason, everybody has 131,000 15th generation great grandparents. And if you go back to 1 CE, that's over 1 trillion direct ancestors, which means that everybody is related to the world before. Now, for those who may peer into the realms of astrology and possibly even Hinduism, as far as the science of yoga as a science rather than a belief, this also indicates that everyone living at this time, going into the age of Aquarius, is related to everybody before in the previous age. It's a beautiful thing when you think about it. But for that reason, all Moorish Americans are descendants of Abraham, along with the prophet Noble Drew Ali. So that answers that question. But it also means that we should take the family of nations, not as a cliche, but literally, because all of us are related to everybody who existed during the time of Abraham. All the characters, whether they're benevolent or malevolent, you're related to them. So this is a way that you can answer that question within like 5 minutes without even going to DNA tests, stuff like that. You can answer those questions. But we're going to continue on to solve some problems, because there's a lot of misinformation out on the internet now that's connected to the Moorish movement. And there's information that brothers may not have. So they come with other assumptions. And there's also information that's circulating around now that's greatly affected by something known as scientific racism. And how these theories and things are masked, we'll discuss that in our next episode. So I just want to say, peace and blessings to everyone out there. This is Misael Bay, aka Warlock Asylum, wishing you a lovely day and a great evening. Peace.